these kids are a bunch of criminals, and they should have. I don't understand why the due process that has been extended to them is one that puts them right back into. You put in citizens at risk. You put in again law enforcement at risk, and they already. If the idea was we are going to be a kind nation who is going to somewhere somehow give opportunities to people that want to do something here, that they want to become something, and they want to work hard and do things. That's completely different than the person that is already breaking. A couple of these kids that are only 19, 20 years old had multiple. This is not the first time that they've been stabbed. There's multiple cases, multiple scenarios. Everybody, welcome to episode number 55. Finally, podcast episodes are older than me, or it has a higher number than me, but it's finally we got there. Welcome to the Daily Crossing.
Fake news.
Guys, we got a number of very important issues to cover right now. This whole situation that just took place, guys, recently out of New York subway, 5 illegal immigrants that attacked a couple of police officers, you know what I mean? And it was in the process of making an arrest on to one of them or somebody that was part of the same group, and then 5 of them decided to jump in. We're gonna go into that. Let's start from the top. Okay, this whole situation, I wanted to have this conversation today, guys, because my blood has been boiling just watching this images. You know, obviously, there's two. I don't know if you saw the whole video. 2 police officers. One of them is attempting to arrest or stop one of them, and then a group of them just jumped. Eventually, the people that were
5 were arrested.
5 were arrested. Joan Boada, 22 years old, who was later on posted as soon as he came out without bail, by the way, without posting any bail. 22 years old, images and videos of him flipping the bird to everybody, giving everybody their face. Just starting, the level of respect that they have for everything and anything, right?
Yeah.
Kelvin Arocha, 19 years old. Wilson Juarez, 21 years old. Germán Neverón, 24 years old. And Darwin Gomez Ezequiel, I guess, 19 years old. It was brutal. It's difficult to watch. I have a lot of friends that are part of the police force. I have a lot of friends that came to this country as immigrants. I came to this country as an immigrant that literally crossed the border, and I say that because I have nothing but gratitude for everything that I was able to do inside of the country, right?
Yeah.
And because of the many blessings that I got from this country, I was able to do many things for my family. I will tell you that for many, many, many years, probably up until the last 2-3 years, I will argue with a lot of people about what I always stated. It was a misunderstanding about the perspective that people had about the border and the people crossing the border. You know what I mean? And part of it, my argument was always, the overwhelming amount of people are coming here for real reasons, and as much as we want to say, well, economic reasons are not enough of a reason for somebody, but just think about that for a second.
When you say real, you mean real or good reasons?
Yeah, real and good reasons in the sense that they were coming, even though they were coming for economic reasons,
But they were attempting to accomplish.
But they were coming in with the idea that they were gonna work hard.
Gotcha.
They were going to be respectful of whatever the situation was. The some of the hardest working people we have today inside of the country came from somewhere else recently, and that was always my conversation. It's unfortunate that people have to go, that you got to feel so desperate, that the levels of corruption in other countries, the level of crime, the level of abuse, the level of drugs. There's so many reasons why one day you got to wake up. You're looking at your children, or you're looking at your parents. You know what I mean? You happen to be a young man, and you're saying, what I would love to do. Like imagine that you happen to be a real dreamer, right? That one day I want to be that person who's going to fix all the problems for my family. Like you're dreaming about that moment when you're building a house for your mother. You're dreaming about the moment where you're going to do something that's going to be so significant that's going to be able to change the future of your family. But then you realize, you're confronted with the reality that if I want to do that, if I want to be that person, I can't do it here. I got to go somewhere else,
Gotcha.
right? And so that's the concept of the person that one day wakes up in the morning saying, I got to go. And those are the individuals that I'm saying coming for the right reasons. They wanted to do something for family. They wanted to do something meaningful. They came here, in the history of the many people that I know, was came here, worked very hard. Most of them never went back. They ended up naturalizing themselves, going through the process of setting up businesses, becoming productive members of society. You know what I mean? Most people that I knew, again, the decent side of the people, did just about everything and anything not to take a handout from the government, not to go into. I know people that they didn't even want to go ever to a hospital just because they wanted to make sure that they were in the position to either have a health insurance or they were going to be able to pay for it. I know people that should have gone to the hospital a while ago.
Yeah.
They still didn't want to do that. They didn't want to be a burden to. What we have going on right now, man, I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like intentionally sending to our country right now some of the worst that's taking place, because an attack like this is a reflection of the poor quality, the misguided perspective of the people that are coming into the country right now. And I'm asking myself, what the hell is going on in New York, though? Like, what the hell is, even the toughest people? I was in New York when the whole idea of the mob was already fading out. You know what I mean? The mafia, the so-called Cosa Nostra, all of these guys like that. At that point, the FBI did such a great job that there was only a handful of guys that they were still running things the way it was doing. But even those guys kept order. Maybe that's what they call it, organized crime. You know what I mean? Because it was organized to the point that there was some level of order. Whatever the police was not able to do, you couldn't do what these kids just went out there wildly creating this kind of scenario. If it was going to be affecting certain neighborhoods, some people were going to step in. Like, what the hell is going on with New York? Can you guys help me understand?
Yeah.
Neck of the woods. That's your people.
To me, I don't know if this makes it better or worse, but I honestly don't blame anyone coming into the country. I think most people will adapt to whatever their surroundings are, right? So if you come into a place where everybody's crazy, you're not gonna. I'm not saying you're not going to, but it's less likely that you're gonna be the one same person who's gonna. Oh, we got to put order here. No, you're gonna be another one of the crazies, right? So then what happens is, I think the problem is the country. The problem is New York. The problem is a broken system. So then now everyone who's coming in, if I'm 19 and I come to a brand new place, I'm gonna adapt to whatever the place, like the vibe that I'm getting from that place is. So then I don't think these are just crazy kids who have no home training. No, it's like, wait a minute, this is how it goes here? Okay, great. Now I know how it goes here. And then so I think what's happening is
So you're saying they playing by the rules that were given to them?
yeah, absolutely. So then what I'm saying is this. I see all kinds of groups, whether it be immigrants, people who were born here, black, white. If you see a crowd of people or a mob, they are crazy. Especially when their intention is to be crazy. Like I've seen it many times where like, okay, like a lot of these rallies that will happen, or once it gets to the point to where, all right, now looting starts, the cops know there's but so much they can do without resulting to, all right, we're gonna just start shooting people. If you try to arrest somebody at that point, no, the mob is taking you out. There is zero chance of you trying to stop one of them, because they're going to. But that's not unique to any one group. I've seen all different kinds of groups will do this. So to me, when I see the video, I'm like, okay, I know what this is. This is just a bunch of crazy kids in the subway. Like, you can't mess with these kids. Like, you know, and the subway, I was even saying it's a whole different, like, it shouldn't be on this planet. I'm not gonna lie. The things that go on in the subway, you won't see anywhere in New York subway specifically. You won't see anywhere else in the world. Like, it's a very interesting place, especially today. So to me, I think this is just a sign of, we have, like I said, a broken system. And I think when you bring people from other places, they're just gonna, just go with the flow. And unfortunately, our flow is not a good one, So that's what I think is happening.
Yeah, I mean, I can see what you're saying. If you're walking around in a place that has no standards, then you're 100% not gonna have any standards yourself. The way that I process this is a couple of things. It gives, we're both immigrants. So again, it's the same stuff that is happening to the LGBT community, right? It's like the T and the Q are taking over, and now it's a freaking mess, right? So there is a bunch of people right now that literally came into this country because they want a better life for their family, because they're really being persecuted in their country, and they're seeking real asylum. There are no opportunities, and they just want to have a net positive to society. I'm telling you, because Jesus, when I came here, that was the case, and I think everybody that was around me that was an immigrant, it was the whole thing, right? We were in environments where we really didn't even want to speak English. I mean, Spanish. Like, it was to that point, and it wasn't because I remember going through this, and it's like, it's not because I was afraid. It wasn't anything like that. I just wanted to be a part of the culture. I wanted to make sure that it's like, this is the land of opportunity. I want to be able to bring value to it, so I can also have the opportunity. It's the whole give and take exchange. But right now, there was always a level of gratitude. So right now, people are walking in with a level of entitlement, and it has to do with the way that they're walking into the country, where it's like, just come in. I mean, the fact that right now we have the situation of the fence being cut in Texas, when somebody's trying to put law and order, and the federal government is saying, well, like, let's just let them in. That gives people a sense of entitlement, and it creates a problem for all of us, and it creates a bad reputation for us as immigrants as well. And here's the last thing that I'll say about that is, it will have a consequence. Like, anytime there's too much of something, you're waking up a group of people that are gonna be like, hey, this is our house, I'm gonna defend it. And so I can tell you that I never really came across somebody being like, for real, racist or anything like that. I was made fun of because of my accent, but I don't consider that racist. That is facts, right? It's just like, whatever. It's like, no, but come on, man. It's like, we were giving each other, it's like, you're just giving each other a hard time for no reasons. But I do see how it can turn back into people saying, I gotta protect my house, and I'm not okay with strangers coming in. So I think more and more people are gonna wake up that have that mindset. Just like in the LGBT community, there's gonna be a point when they're gonna be like, y'all don't even need to get married, because look at this cluster mess that you guys created. So I believe that, unfortunately, all of the progress that has happened is gonna go back because of characters like this, which is not many, but the few make a huge impact.
All I'm saying, and I just want to say this point. I think that, I don't know if this is good or bad, there's not going to be a way to differentiate who's who, is what I'm saying. So then when you see things like this, they're not going to be able to say, all right, well, this group is coming from this place. No, it's like everybody.
It's not a place.
Everybody. And I think so
right
then,
now.
I don't know if that makes it better or worse.
Yeah.
But that's what I think is going to be the situation.
Listen, I don't care how young you are. You have to make a choice. Because when I came into New York, that wasn't an easy time for New York either. You know what I mean? I came into a place, I'm in Brooklyn. I'm in East 18, as a matter of fact, it was East 240, East 18th Street, the corner of Beverly Road. And I mean, this is Flatbush. This is like, you know what I mean? There's a little group here, there's a little group over there. Everybody's carrying a knife. You know what I mean? There's no. If you were going to the grocery store, you had to carry something, because there was a possibility you were going to run into somebody that wanted to cut you up for no reason. I mean, you're talking about tough kids, you know what I mean? But at the same time, what I was looking for church, some kind of guidance from God, right? Because you said, if I don't make an effort to try to do well or to be a good person, I'm going to by default become a bad person. So I'm trying to look for. I don't have the presence of my parents. The best thing who can adapt you better than the church? Let me see. The second thing is, I just wanted to work. I wanted to make some money, right? And so those two principles right now, right? You remove God, and we have done a phenomenal job removing God out of the equation, right? And so where do they go to? Now you only left to hang out with the masses, like you're saying. And the fact of the matter is that, if you allow yourself to be dragged into what everybody else is doing, and everybody is trouble, or it feels like an adventure. It feels like nobody is looking for work. So even I agree with you to an extent. You know what I mean, when you're saying that you come, here are the rules, everybody's playing by those rules. I came in not being concerned about what everybody else was doing or not doing. I was concerned about how do I put myself in a better position again so that I can help my family. Maybe these kids don't have a specific motivation. Maybe they're not here to come to anything, but they also come in here into a system that is extremely broken. So let's remove them for a second, right? Let's talk about the system itself, right?
Yes.
Now, here we are. We are in New York, and then the question with New York becomes, there is absolutely chaos, filth, crime in ways that we never seen before, lack of order. I mean, it's just, and if I'm a New Yorker, right? If I'm one of those guys that I can only imagine, if I'm feeling the way I'm feeling right now, and I'm 1,000 miles away from New York right now, right? I can only imagine the guy who's like ready to grab a baseball bat and go do something stupid. What we're facing when I see a place that goes so bad like that is essentially what they call the tyranny of the masses. How can people continue to place politicians that continue to produce this kind of reality? Do you not see how everything is breaking down? Do you not care that
By the way, these guys have zero consequences because why are they out right now without bail? One, and what the heck are they still doing here?
That's what I'm saying.
Shouldn't they be just shipped right back to where they can? I mean, I hate saying that,
What
but it's
no,
like
I don't
but
anymore.
it-
I don't because
It's
at
like-
some point, listen, at some
I
point
was
you don't
afraid
have
of
to
getting a ticket when I'm
establish
like,
the
holy
difference.
crap!
At
It's
some
like I don't
point,
get it.
you at some point you have to clearly establish the difference between that person that is trying to do something positive and the person that is like it's a criminal. These kids are a bunch of criminals, and they should have. I don't understand why the due process that has been extended to them is one that puts them right back into, you put in citizens at risk, you put in again law enforcement at risk, and they already, if the idea was we are going to be a kind nation who is going to somewhere somehow give opportunities to people that want to do something here, that they want to become something, and they want to work hard and do things. That's completely different than the person that is already breaking a couple of these kids that are only 19, 20 years old have multiple. This is not the first time that they've been stabbed. There's multiple cases, multiple scenarios, and here we are. We just opposed to just putting them in a plane and say, go back to whatever
Sayonara.
it is you come from. Or let me take you to the other side of. And so, listen, I'm trying to picture when somebody is in through the election process, right? And I'm trying to think, is it for me? There's only the possibility of three groups, right? One that just don't care, like they couldn't care less about what's going on, and they don't even show up to anything. They're not going to show up to vote. They don't believe on any of these things. There's another group that they're already part of that corrupted environment, meaning they are milking the system as much as they can, and now little by little that group is becoming a significant majority. You know, and then the last group is just, to me, it's a group that at this point, even if they want to do something about it, it's almost like if you're not playing the level of craziness that's taking place. That there was a Catholic saint that was like around for 1,500 years. 1,500 years ago, that says it'll come a time where you who are normal will be the one who's going to be called crazy for wanting what's best for, and the people that are crazy will be the ones to be praised as normal.
Absolutely.
That's where we are right now.
100%.
That's essentially where we are right now. And so I don't know, you know what I mean, how is it that people look at your own neighborhoods, you look at your own people, you look at your own citizens, you're saying, again, from the garbage to the chaos to the crime to the how are you okay accepting that reality? I don't understand what else has to happen before people. Media obviously is complacent. Politicians that are, I don't even know what to call these individuals though, you know what I mean? Because And then the people, listen, who is willing to be so blinded by the whole situation. So that was absolutely happening. Here's the crazy stuff, right? In 2016, to the idea of people should be offered legal status was 24%. 2024, it went up a little bit, by the way, just so you know. It went from 24 to 28%. So you still have a group of people, right, that from 2016, that 24% who believe that everybody should be extended. Let's give them their documents, let's give them their ability to stay here, and so on and so forth, because the argument is that that's going to give them the ability to be better, whatever the case may be. But there's also the other group that since 2016 was also arguing they should be deported. And that was a 51% number. That today, going into 2024, is a 76% number.
That's almost 50%.
That's a significant. That's almost 48% more, right? And so, what do you do when people are literally getting to the point of saying, when you can't hide it anymore? The Biden administration right now is saying, listen, we need additional powers, additional monies, additional funding. The additional funding that they want is not to secure, as you stated clearly and correctly, they're cutting fences. They're trying to find a way to remove whatever blockage they're setting up, whatever barriers they're setting up over there. What they want is additional monies for judges or for people to process all these amnesties things faster. And there's going to be an impact on this election. Just based on, I think that this is going to be the number one issue, and probably Democrats are saying we have a whole year to fix this or to turn it to our favor, already saying that this is a, again, Trump administration problem, the Congress, this Republican Congress who's not doing. The thing is that we saw 4 years of that border functioning properly. The guy who was called crazy, the guy who was called, this man has no idea what it is, the border is going to be a disaster. He's going to put us in every possible war he can actually be because he has no idea. World War III is going to be good. The economy is going to get destroyed. Everything that they said about Donald Trump is what's actually playing out right now under this administration. And for people, listen, I don't remove the whole label, Democrat, Republican. Remove that label. Put it to the side. Can we just have a common sense approach? Like, how much longer we do this before we actually destroy the country?
Yeah. So, I don't know. There's no, like I said, there's no easy answer to this. I think even with, the number of people who believe people should be deported is going up, that's not even going to solve the problem. Because here's what people, I think, fail to realize. Criminals don't care what the rules are, right? So if I'm a criminal, I don't care what you say. I'm going to do what I want to do, right? So then what ends up happening, I feel like if we decide that, okay, everybody who's illegal needs to go, you're going to end up just deporting a lot of the people who were trying to do something better or trying to actually make the country better, but went through the broken system that didn't allow them to actually become legal.
But that is always the sad part about it. That is always the sad part about it.
If I'm a criminal and I get deported, I'm coming right back. I'll come back tomorrow. It's no big deal. I get a free plane ride.
Sad
go
part
through
about it.
But that's so like I said, I think it's a bigger issue than do they stay or do they go? No, we need to know, okay, what's next? Because, so like I said.
Well, for me, it's very simple, though. We start with the people that are committing criminal acts. And I don't care how big or how simple, because if you decided that instead of going to, the pizzeria in the corner and saying, hey, listen, let me just do deliveries for you, and hopefully somebody's going to give me some money hopefully I'm going to get some tips, as I go along. That guy, I don't have a problem with that guy.
Yeah.
But the guy who decided I can just walk into the store and take the sneakers and not pay for it. And how many can I take? That guy?
Yeah.
I'm not just talking about somebody who attacked a police officer. Yeah. I mean, that should be a non-negotiable.
Correct.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And I don't understand why exactly it is. I can only imagine that these two individuals being attacked saying, I have a gun with me.
Yeah.
I have a gun. I can't even pull it out.
Yeah.